Right, let's just check. Should be going live. Oh, cool. I think we are live. Let's check. Okay, so 2 seconds. If you're here, say hi. I am going live to support you guys in your Amazon business. I'll answer your Amazon questions. Drop them down below. I do this once every week. Just to support you and help you out. So 1 second. I'm just going to double check we are actually live, because how many times have I done this and I've not been live? So give me 2 seconds. Oh, look. Looks like we're live. Woohoo! Really good. Right, so that's cool. Then I just want to check everyone things. So if anyone's here, do drop a hi. Let me know down below. Drop your comments in. As I can see, my little box isn't working. Is that showing? There you go. GJL. Let me just play with my layers. 1 second. This little chat box, I'm going to delete. Can I do add a new layer? Apps and widgets. Chat box. Add to scene. Will it work even though I'm live? Nah, it doesn't want to work. That's not very good, is it? So I'm going to delete, I'm going to hide that chat box, delete that one. So JGL, good to see it, remove from scene. For some reason, it doesn't want to work. Not an idea why, but we shall find out one day. So if you're here, drop your comments down below and obviously let me know. One interesting thing is we recently got gated on a big brand that we're selling, which is like super annoying. And what's interesting, I sent my invoices in to get ungated again, and then they said, oh, we want your suppliers' invoices for ungating. This isn't about authenticity, it's about ungating. So I was like, damn, man, that's like crazy. So absolutely crazy. Right, so got a couple of comments coming in. JGL2, hey, how are you? Miguel, hey, Tom, how are you? I'm good, thank you. Obviously live, and you're from YouTube, so YouTube is working as well. So drop me any questions down below. Obviously, no, but obviously it's been last week's pretty good. Pretty good. We're getting into wholesale, so I can share some of that if you've got questions around it. Facebook user says, "Hola, hola, ¿cómo estás? My Spanish is lo siento, no hablo español, solo inglés," which I can actually say in a really good Spanish accent, but I'm not very good at actually speaking Spanish. So one day I will learn, even though I live in Mexico. Facebook user, hey Facebook user, and Facebook user says hi. So if you are here, drop your questions and comments down below. I will just have a quick look at actually Facebook and see who is live in the chat. I'll see there. But let me know if you've got questions and what's going on. So you've got Ben, Shizad, and Aram. Sorry, get that right, Tom. Got to be really, really good. So let me know how you're getting on, and obviously what questions you've got. So the one interesting one that I found was the fact that Amazon are asking for suppliers invoices for ungating, which is like, oh my god, that's so much crazy. Got to bring the plant in. 1 second. Need to add a bit of greenery into the scene. There we go. Right, let me jump through some of your questions. So we got here Noor. Hello, Am. How are you? I really get interested in your live chat. One of my inventory stranded and returned to seller. Can I list with other account with same invoice? If not, what is the solution? So interesting question. So there's a couple of things. Number one, you've got Okay, you've got inventory. Okay, so if you've got inventory stranded, you need to figure out the reason why. This could be that the listing's been deleted. It could be that you're gated, same as me, for example. It could be for a number of reasons. Now, you've got to first of all figure out what the problem is. And if it is like gated, get yourself ungated again. If the listing's been deleted, then you probably got to remove it. Now you're talking about selling on another account. You can do that, i.e. you've got to ship it out and then ship it back in again, which is obviously a lot of work. But I would probably just say is most of the time, if you're going to have to use like invoicing for selling on other accounts, it probably won't work, just for the simple fact that your invoice will be in the name of the primary account, not for your other account. So that would be kind of like my feedback for you. So I hope that makes sense. Right, let me know down there. SB says, hey Tom, hey. Miguel says, I've been having issues with shoe variations detaching from parent ASINs. Do you have any recommendations? I don't. I would say, because obviously you don't own the primary listing, so it's really hard to do. I would definitely be raising a case with Amazon Seller Central, because I'm guessing the shoes that you're in are in what's known as the, I forgot what it's called. It's like the catalog controlled by Amazon, so they can bring it back together again. They normally like things like manufacturers' websites to prove that they're the same, but I would just be raising Seller Central cases. So that would be it. So like, it's not a great answer, sorry, but it'd just be raising Seller Central cases like constantly. But it is frustrating. One top tip you can look at is like sales velocity. Like you can look at like how the sales rank just monitor that and see what's changed. That's a really good one to kind of see if you're like, wow, something's happened here. You could even run it through like Keep a Product Finder on a weekly basis and see the 30-day average sales rank or like 7 sales rank now versus 30-day, and then look at the big variations that will show you where they're detaching. So SEB, what is the I can't do right, legal entity for new sellers who live outside the UK who want to resell on Amazon UK Marketplace? I don't know the answer. There is so many different answers. And by the way, there is no right. There are many different ways to do it. If I was living outside the UK and I wanted to sell in the UK, how would I approach it? I would probably create a UK limited company, because that means I have a UK presence, kind of. And I know Amazon, HMRC are now thinking differently, but I have a UK presence, so it just makes a UK address, makes things a lot easier. Now, the problem you've got right now is HMRC's establishment of UK businesses are saying, for you to be a UK business, definitely lots of noise happening, sorry. For you to be a UK business, you need to have you can't have a virtual address, you've got to have a physical trading address. And I think they say one of the owners has to be a resident in the UK, I think, don't quote me, which is the whole problem right now that's going on. So I would still have a limited company, I'd still do it that way. But your problem is that HMRC doesn't see that as like, by the way, you can still have a UK limited company through a virtual address and sell on Amazon, but HMRC would not see you as a UK controlled entity. And it's the problem is controlled because you're a virtual office and you are living outside the UK, so you are therefore is controlled by a foreign entity. This I've known about this for a little while in other countries, but it's complex. It's really, really complex. You can still trade, absolutely fine. It's just how taxation is done is a bit more complex. So again, I'd speak to an accountant and probably a professional tax advisor, and then like they're not cheap. I won't lie. I have one. I pay like $5,000 a year for it. So yeah, they're not cheap. Facebook user, do you have a process in place for tackling these pesky brand gatings? Yeah, just getting ungated. By the way, you'll never know when a brand is going to get gated. Like, you will not know that. Clinique has recently been gated for everyone, and no one knew in advance. So there is no process you can do for it. But what you can do, and by the way, I did share it in my email newsletter, is you can make sure that you don't hold too much of any one brand. For example, in our business, we try not to go over 20% of any one brand. And I know some people who are way higher than that. And as a result, if that brand gets gated, all of a sudden you'll lose your entire business. So at least kind of like no more than 20% in any one brand. We try and make sure of that, but there is no process per se. If you get gated just normally, you can get ungated, but if it's being restricted by at the brand level and Amazon are not accepting, should we say, any new applicants, then there's nothing you can do. We have no right to be able to sell someone else's brand. We on Amazon, we can sell the brand, but if the brand says we do not want other people selling, then Amazon will say like, and they agree with them, they'll kick everyone off. So I hope that makes sense. It's a pain, but it does happen. Nor. The reason is the new account without that number and HMRC gave 40 days of that number. That is the reason. And your original question is inventory is stranded. Yeah, it's not going to work because you're trying to like they're two separate different businesses. You've got to like sell it from one business to the other. It's going to take. I'd just wait the 40 days. Honestly, I'd wait the 40 days. That'd be it. JGL2. Hey Tom. On my third VA from Fast Track FBA, and I think the third one's been a charmer. Okay, cool. Found someone who generally sees themselves as part of my business and passion rather than just an employee. Love it. And by the way, like we do have that 12-week unlimited replacement policy where you can keep changing, so it allows you to get the VA which is going to be right for you. And I think, by the way, like managing staff and hiring staff is hard work. So, you know, while it's like on your third one, it does happen sometimes. And if you're going to hire, you know, directly, you'll probably be on like your fifth or sixth one by now. So that's good. Sounds like you're onto a roll. Well done. Loving it, JGL2. Let's kind of jump to Facebook user. What expectations should I have with a new admin VA? I'm thinking after 2 weeks they should have a good handle on things. Too soon. The plan is week 1 admin mastery with 1 hour support each day. Week 2 unsure yet. Oh my God. I would say 3 months. That's what I would say. Like 3 months they can do it all without your attachment. So the way I would, so I think I've done this before with my team. I did it in my admin mastery video. It was a 3-month process. So month 1 is we can teach, you can do everything, but you're doing it slow and there are problems. Month 2 is you can now do everything to standard and we've now corrected those problems. Month 3 is you are now on your own, showing me that you can actually do it on your own. And then if you need to extend, fine. Sorry, lots of noise, drilling and digging. And then month 4, if you need to extend, is you didn't complete on month 3, but we'll give you 1 more month to prove that you can do it on your own. So it takes time. It's not weeks, it's like months, I would think. It generally takes time for these things to happen. If I talk about my purchasing manager, we're training a purchasing manager right now. I think we've just finished 1 month. Like, we're coming up to 1 month now. And we've got her time set up. She can do everything. There are still little issues that I'm trying to fix. Her deal analysis is running about 80% correct to what mine is. We're measuring that. That's a quantifiable. She needs to get to 95. And then her quantity to buy is running about 60 to 70% versus what I would agree with. So going forward, she can do everything now, and she is doing it per se. But on month 2 now is going to be about getting those standards up from, like 70, 80% deal analysis and 60 to 80% on purchasing up to, 90, 95. That's what I want to see now. And just crossing the T's, dotting the I's. And then I want to see her doing it on her own without me. And that'll be the sign-off process. By the way, watch my purchasing manager video. That might give you a good template as well. So that's quite useful. But I hope that makes sense, Facebook user. Miguel, once they detach, you go up to the million BSR. Yeah. So if I were you watching, I would just have a little what is it? Okay, I would probably go to download all your ASINs. I would dump them into Keeper Product Finder because you can do a list, and then I'd do the view count, and then I would do new BSR now, and then BSR 30 and 90-day average, and I would literally just download the sheet really quickly, and I would just do you're trying to do what's the percentage change? For example, so if it was 100,000 now or a million now, and 30 days ago it was sales rank 1,000, the percentage change from today to 30 days ago is going to be it's going to be 99.6% or something. It's going to be insane. So I would just literally download that, put it into a Google Sheet really quickly once a week, and then just look at that percentage change chart and go, that ASIN's detached, cool, go back in and jump on that one. That would be the way I would spot check them, which would probably take 5 minutes a week. And then you're just constantly on it. That's an administrative process. It doesn't take very long. You just want to build a template on Google Sheets. I think that's quite simple. Miguel, I hope that answers your question. Hey, Tom, what do you do to get the high-level mastermind course, and how much is it? Ooh, if you are interested in knowing, I'll let you into a little secret. This week, and I mean this week only, our Fast Track FBA Server Academy, so that's my high-level mastermind, has got a $1,000 discount on it. So if you are interested, fasttrackfba.com/seller, you can check it out, and you just need to book a call with me. So I'll show you what's available. But at a very fundamental level, we have all the processes I share. I listen to everything that you're doing, and I share all the step-by-step things which are going to help get your business systematized, managing VAs, and helping you understand what's working in your business. This isn't just kind of here's how to do purchasing, here's how to do that. We share that. But also we're really looking at, here's how to show you what's working in your business, i.e. the suppliers, the brands, how to build those processes in Weekly, so that while you might not be doing the same niche as me, you can focus on your niche and continue doubling down on that, even though the underlying Amazon market is changing, i.e. your suppliers are getting, more and more swamped with competition. So if you are interested, check it out. It's got $1,000 off just this week. You've got to book the call, www.fasttrackfba.com/seller, or you can go to fasttrackfba.com and click on 7-Figure Mastermind, and also you can join that and get in. So check that. And obviously I do the calls every week, and they're group calls. They're really, really helpful. So you'll see it. I know Ben likes to actually watch them all back, so absolutely love it. So Carlos, hope that answers your question. Let me know if you've got any more down below. Hi Tom, when moving into wholesale, I'm conscious of using my home address if I'm to be taken seriously. Would it be a good strategy to rent a storage unit for this purpose? It's up to you. I think if I were you, I would go and put it this way. There will be a lot of wholesalers out there who just won't care. They really won't care. I would just do it with your home address, and if they kick up, just talk money. Say, hey, look, I buy from these guys. We spend $10,000 a week or a month on them. They ship to my house. If you've got a problem with that, that's absolutely fine. We are looking to get into a warehouse soon, but right now I have a really large, really large kind of like back of yard garage, for example, which works really, really well. And what I'm trying to do is make sure we can keep our costs low so we can buy more products. But if this is a problem, then I can build that relationship with you when we get warehousing facility. So I would throw the question back on to the supplier when they kick off, or you say to be taken seriously, like to be opening the account. To be honest, you could be really cheeky. You could go and set up a relationship with a prep center, but not actually use it, and then use a prep center address to open the account, and then change the address when you want to ship. Really cheeky, but it might work, which I would probably do because I think it's a lot easier. You're just trying to get the account open. There's so many wholesalers you can open accounts, they're not going to bother. I really don't think. I think you'll be fine. Ben, does that answer your question? Let me know down below. SEB, to sell on Amazon USA, how do you do it, please? fasttrackfba.com, go up to resources, and then go to courses, and then go to how to get started selling on Amazon as a non-resident. That's a course. I set it for $97. It shares everything in there, and even like credit cards, prep centers, company formation, why we do what we do. I think you'll love it. It literally is a really good course. It's $97. It costs nothing, and that'll tell you exactly what you need to do. By the way, there are 16 videos in that course, all decent size length. They talk you through screen shares of everything that I've done. I could be here for 4 hours, which is the course telling you that. So I hope that makes sense. Just get that course. Really, really good. And there's a 15-day money-back guarantee if you are not happy. Hope that makes sense. Facebook user, aside from Amazon loans, you talked about lines of credit. Yeah, absolutely. They are better. I will say it. Borrowing specifically for the Amazon business. Have you ever lending experience with loan providers in the UK or in the UK? I haven't. Well, kind of yes and no. So obviously I've done Amazon loans. We have an overdraft, which you could consider a line of credit from our bank account Santander. That's £25,000. We have credit cards. So I have multiple. Oh my God, I had 5 Amex Platinums at one point. So we have an Amex Blue in the US. We have a line of credit from Mercury in the US. We have, I think, about £130,000 in the UK on Capital and Tap credit available. I have another 15,000 with Santander outside of the overdraft. That's a line of credit. I have it in a credit card, should we say? So there's a lot of I always try and get access to credit even if I don't need it, because it's when you need it, you need it, and when you need it, you'll never be able to get it. So if you want to understand, if you're doing private label where you buy a big bulk of product in from China and then you ship it into Amazon, start selling it, Amazon loans work really, really well. But for reselling businesses, they don't, because we just want to keep buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. So lines of credit work much better. And the big problem behind Amazon loans is the fact that the moment you get it, you're like, I'm paying interest. And mine was nearly £50,000 a year on one of my loans, which is so that's the interest payment was, not the loan. The interest was that much. So it shows you how expensive it was. And it was £380,000 or something pounds. So the idea is that you want to be able to use that money all the time. And if you are struggling to find products to buy and you're paying interest, you'll just buy bad products, which is what we did. So it didn't really work. So lines of credit are better because you pull the credit when you need it, if that makes sense. You'll generally pay 2 fees. One will be an initiation fee, which you're just having the access, and then the other one is the interest on credit. So that's the way it works. Wayfair is an option. Payability is another option. 8 figures another option. There's quite a lot of them that you can use. But lines of credit generally better for reselling businesses. Hope that makes sense. JGO2, I sold around 1,000 units in December. Woohoo! And in January I sold 600 so far this month, and I'm sending in a lot of units, prepping and shipping every day. Thoughts on UK Prep Center? Is it the right time? 1 second. If you have more money, so if you are doing self-prep at the moment and you're thinking about getting a prep center, what advice can I give you? If you have too much money right now and you can't find enough deals to spend, then I think moving some of your shipments to a prep center would be advantageous, specifically things which are more labor intensive. For example, if you've got to do bundles, multi-packs, those things are really good in prep centers. If you have something simple where it's just put a sticker on it, ship it in, keep that at home for the moment. But really what you're looking at is spend all the money in the time you have available. Now, if you start running out of time and you still have money left because you are prepping, then that is the time when you think you should buy a prep center, and it should be things like bundles, and it should be things like the complex stuff, which takes a lot of time. The quick, sticky stuff, really simple. KGL2, I hope that makes sense. And you said, what factors should I consider? I think I just answered that one. Should I go all in, send everything? No, start shipping off the multi-packs, the bundles, the complex stuff. The things which eat you time. Time is your equation here. Time is the thing you're optimizing for. So you're trying to say, I've got 40 hours in the week. First of all, I need to spend all the money. So that takes 26 hours. So now you've got another 14 hours left to prep. But my prep takes 20 hours. Okay, well, I've got 4 hours too much. Okay, so what can I get rid of the prep? Well, this prep stuff that I'm prepping here takes a lot of time. So let's get that off to the prep center, because they'll probably cost about the same as me in labor cost, but I don't want to, but all the stuff where it's sticker on it is really cheap for me to do labor cost wise, but it would cost me a lot more to do it with them. So I won't do the easy stuff, I'll do the more complex stuff. So if you're doing like wholesale and you've got, I don't know, you're buying Lego and you've got loads of them, you just like 1, 2, 3, 4, like really quick, but if it's bundles, ship that out. Tom, can a VA join your team? Well, we do hire lots of VAs, but you have to go through all the recruitment and training process, but you have to graduate through Fast Track FBA, unfortunately. That is it. You have to go through the experience. You have to go through the training. If you want to know, every single one of my staff, including all my managers, software developers, everyone has been through the VA Academy training. Even if they did not come to apply to work in Amazon, if you came to work in my marketing team, the first week is always VA Academy training. We put everyone through that so that they understand what happens. So I hope that makes sense. Ben says, yep, great answer, thanks, absolutely love it. Miguel, what is your liquidation process when you're stock with inventory over 90 days and 180 in terms of workflow and ROI? So generally speaking, you're just closing you're reducing your ROI down. So anything over 90 days, I think what we've done in the past is reduced it down to below 0. So 180 would probably like minus 50%, minus 100% ROI. We just want to clear the stock, unless there's a reason why. 90 days will probably get to like minus 20 or 0%. I know people who will ship in on 5% ROI. So that does happen. Long story short is, you've really got to understand those are the specific products that you want to be reviewing to say what went wrong, because you should most people buy 1 month worth of stock, and if you're sat there with 90 days worth of stock, you're like, there is a big problem here, something's not right. So that's the stuff you want to do, but generally we're just clearing the stock down. Sometimes we might just, if you're going negative ROI and it's low cash value, like buy for $1, sell for $10 and get $1 profit, that's what you're aiming for. Sometimes it's more advantageous to destroy that stock than it is to actually go negative, because the fees alone will eat up more of the profit. But I don't know the exact calculation off the top of my head, but that's something to consider, especially if you're going like minus 100% ROI. Armin, Amazon USA ungating currently broken on 90% of brands. Just submit a random photo instead of an invoice. Wow, I absolutely love it. Well, interesting enough, I did submit an actual proper invoice on Friday, and they rejected it and said, please, they cannot authenticate the supplier. Please send the supplier's invoice in, which we've now done, which is obviously challenging. So, but yeah, that was like, oh my God. So I'm not sure if that's true, but I hope it is. Please accept my invoice so I can get ungated. Woohoo! If you don't get approved within 10 minutes, just close the case and try another brand. But I will try that, actually. Yeah, I'll see if I can accidentally send a picture of me going with the coffee in and see if I can get some stuff in. Guys, I've got some more time. Drop your questions down below. I do think there's some interesting questions that come in. Stock liquidation process, I think, is really good. By the way, if anyone doesn't know, we talked about it earlier on, training with my purchasing manager. One thing that I do religiously in my company now, all of my companies, and I get my team to do, especially my senior managers, is if you are doing anything and you do not have a process, start writing a process. Even if it's like, process for dealing with inventory over aged inventory, cool. Over 90 days, change to ROI 0. Over 180 days, change ROI to minus 100. Why? Because you can just save that, put it into a time box on your calendar, and next time you come back next week, you're going to do that check. should we say? And then what's really interesting is next week, or you might look at this, you might look at the sales in 3 days' time and go, damn, I sold that way quick. I shouldn't go to minus 100. I should go to like minus 70, for example. Cool. So then you go back to that process and just tweak the 100 to 70. And so next time when you come in on the Monday, what you're now going to do is instead of, you're not even going to have to think about it because you remember you've written it down. And by the way, the more stuff you try and hold here, the worse it gets. So you're just going to come in, click your calendar, go, oh, it's that aged inventory process time. I've got 15 minutes. Click the process, load it up, and it says, cool. Load this over 90, set to 0% ROI. Cool. Load this over 180 days, set to minus 70, because we've now updated it, and then do that. And all you're going to be doing is just constantly keep refining and refining your processes, because you are doing an action, and then later on in the week or the month or the year, you are going to see the problems of that action. And another good example might be when you are doing your like one we do in our business right now is when you are doing your repricing for aged inventory over 90 days, for example, one of the big questions you might ask is like, wow, did I get the calculation to buy wrong? So what we do is we get our purchasing manager to review that, and then we go, so if you kind of talk you through the process is every day we look at old stocks and other stocks that are sold. And my purchasing manager isn't really looking at pricing. They're specifically looking more at quantity that we purchase, because either it's sold out too quick or it's sold out too long. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to go watch the Loom video back of the date that when we purchased it. And they're now going to look at the Loom video and said, from the information I've now learned, from when I purchased it and the information I now know, how would I improve my learning to go forward, i.e. quantity to buy? And then what we say is, what are the changes you would have made or you have made in the process of quantity to buy? So every time they now buy, they're using that new information. And this is a really important takeaway. So I share that with you because that's one of the key takeaways we took out of the interview with Saros, who did 7 million on 1 hour per week, which is incredible, not even per day, but per week. And I think that's like game changing. So that's a really, really good point. And I think for you, just building that process is good. And Ben mentioned it here. Notion, absolutely love it. Game changer for recording processes. We use it all the time. And I'm talking about it in the Seller Academy with Ben as well. And I think the answer is one thing I do really love about Notion is write your processes in. And then here's the trick. You can, if you pay for it, it costs $20 per month, $10 for Notion, $10 for the AI, but you put all your processes in there. And then what's the great thing is you can ask Notion questions through like ChatGPT, but it's got AI built in. So you can store your supplier details in there. You can store like lots of information, and then you can go what's my process for dealing with aged stock? And it will literally scan all your files, and it will come back and give you the text output. You're like, fuck, sorry, language. That's amazing. So when you've got VAs, instead of them asking you questions to start with, they just ask Notion and then get the answer. And you're like, whoa. And if they don't know the answer, they ask you then tell them to update Notion, and voila, you've now got a knowledge base, which is game changing. JGL2, Tom, any recommendations to UK prep center, not knowing where to look and who to look for prep centers, cost of prep? I do really like systemized fulfillment. I've met them. I know Kev. I better. So the one reason why I really like them, you are going to pay. I will not lie, they are not the cheapest. But, one second. They are the cheapest. And the reason why they are the cheapest, they're not the cheapest, sorry, at all. The reason why they're not the cheapest is because they video film all of the products going into the boxes. So when you have missing stock, or when you have problems with like the product isn't as described, you can literally show Amazon a video of the box being packaged, and that's kind of like, yep, the products are in there, watch the video, you can see 4 products are put in, and they were like, we thought there were only 3. So, and what's interesting is, I think you'd probably pay more in missing stock from Amazon than you would in the additional fee. So systemized fulfillment, Kev Blackburn, check him out. And I think you'll like that. They're up in Scunthorpe. I've been there 3 times. It's been really, really good. Guys, if you've got questions, drop them down below. I am here to help you out. Miguel, the whiteboard session with Saros is fire. Yeah, agreed. I do need to do that again. I'm going to go meet him in Miami Sellers Conference on Friday, March. So going to go meet him again there. So really looking forward to that. And that was really good. That we spent like 2 days together. So really, really enjoyed that. So looking forward to another one. Line of thought, both is game changing. Let me know what you want us to do. Like, I don't know if I'll do it in March, but I'd be very interested to know like how he's getting on, what he's doing, and like what you want me to interview or ask about. So I can probably do like a mini session or just ask him. So that, let me know. Like obviously if you want to do more whiteboard sessions, I can do them. But what is it specifically you're after? So let me know. Zadie said, greetings from Algeria. Hey, from Algeria. Never been. I should go. On my way back to the UK. I think I might be in the UK in May. Not too sure. Right now I'm in Mexico, listening to the drumming sound outside where they're doing some work, but it's quite hot. So if you've got questions, drop them down below. Obviously, I'm here to help you out. Again, I would really stress, let's just recap on a couple of things. Amazon are now asking for supplier invoices for ungating, which is really interesting. Number 2, they are processes are really important. Number 3, if you want to join my high-level mastermind, this week we've got $1,000 off. Check it out, fasttrackfba.com/seller. This is whereby I share all of my processes. I share everything. You get a weekly live call with me, all my SOPs, and obviously I'm sharing actionable ways to figure out what's working in your business. So what suppliers, what brands are working, and I'm listening to what your problems are or within that Seller Academy, and I'm helping you out. So if you're interested, fasttrackfba.com, click on seven-figure mastermind, and obviously you can book a call with me, and obviously I can show you like all about that and see if it's going to be right for you. So do check that out. We've got $1,000 off just for this week, but you do need to book the call. So check that out. Guys, if you've got questions, drop them down below. JGL2, did I answer your question about prep centers? Who else have you looked at? There's a couple of other ones which I'm aware of, which are like, I think it's Blue Prep 30. They seem like okay. I've heard about them. I think the real question is, I've not heard anything negative. For example, I used to have a prep center called Fastpack FBA. When I did my UK business, we worked with them. And what was really annoying is they went bankrupt, like massively bankrupt, like 100K negative. And we lost a good couple of thousand, maybe close to 5 figures in stock because of stock wasn't checked in, went missing, big problems. And because they went bankrupt, there was no ability to get any of that money back. So, absolutely fine. Miguel says, have you heard feedback from Epic Prep of Dan? How do you mean feedback? I know Dan. I've met him personally. I know him. I've interviewed him quite a lot of times. I've got a lot of time for Dan. I think he's really, really good. But are you saying there's some like negative feedback or like positive? So I think he's really good, but I've not heard anything bad. Unless you tell me there's negative feedback, I think Epic Prep would be good, but they're in the US, not the UK. They are tax-free, so that's really interesting as well. By the way, if you don't know about tax-free prep centers, that's like a real game changer. Why? Because if you're thinking about like, let's put it this way. Let's say, for example, your sales tax is, 5%. If you buy a product that's $20 and you're paying a 5% sales tax, you're basically paying an extra $1 on the product. Well, you could ship it directly to a non-taxable prep center for $20. So if you think about it, you do it yourself, it costs $20 for the product, and we're saying free shipping, plus sales tax for you, 5%, that's $21 now. Or you can ship it to a prep center, which is 0% sales tax, which is $20, and they're going to charge you $1 to prep, so it's now $21. So basically the cost is exactly the same both, but you're the one who has to do the work in prepping in the sales tax-free prep center. You don't have to. They do all the work for you and ship it off to Amazon, which is like game changing. So if you're like buying $20 plus items at cost price and you're thinking about a prep center, sales tax-free I think is a game changer. And even if you're not, like I think it's just worth it because the time saving is really, really worth it. So JGL said thank you. Even how do you win the buy box as a new seller with no seller reviews and not tanking the price? So buy box algorithm, as far as we're aware, because Amazon doesn't actually tell you. Number 1, you need the professional membership. If you do not have professional membership, you cannot get buy box, period. Number 2, you should be FBA. If you're FBM, it won't work because your shipping time should be the same as everyone else. Also as well, with your FBA, make sure your stock is available and ready to ship. How can you do this? Go to the listing, look at all the sellers on the listing, and look at the estimated arrival date. Yours should be the same as them. If it's not, yours is longer, then it's still being moved around the Amazon warehouse, so don't bother moving anything else. So that's like, just wait until the estimated arrival date gets the same as everyone else. Then it's price. That's it. And I hate to say it, you might find that there's if you're a brand new seller, you might need to, should we say, tank the price a bit to be able to get sales. There's no reason why you can't go down, then back up again, wait 30 minutes for the competitor to come back up, down, back up again. Like, you can do that, but that's the only real way you can do it. It might be the case that you're looking at just buying some products and just trying to shift them through to get some sales, like low value items could be really beneficial. I know in the US, they like to buy lots of socks. That's one thing. I think I've just been bitten by a mosquito. Outrageous. Why is there a mosquito in my house? Evan, let me know if that answers your question. So really, really helpful. Miguel, I use Prep Center in New Hampshire, but I'm looking to change because their speed is unreliable. Yeah, I'll give you one little tip that we do. I'm going to drink some more coffee. Okay. So not tip, it's kind of like a couple of things. One, whenever you, okay, so number one, we use the USS, the Ultimate Sourcing Sheet, which automatically creates custom SKUs for every product we purchase. So check it out, Fast Track FBA Services USS. Really, really good product. It's got an API connection into Amazon, and it will allow you to automatically upload to Amazon and like Seller Center and Seller Toolkit. So use that, game changing. We put all our purchases on there. So that's really cool. So why? Because the real specific reason it creates a custom SKU. Now, whenever we ship our products to the warehouse, and then those products get shipped into the Amazon Seller Central or Seller Warehouse, the moment that shipment arrives, what we do is we basically then look at all of the delivery times of those products. And if we be very specifically clear, we're like, in this box, there were 20 products shipped in, not 20 units, but 20 different ASINs or SKUs. And from the SKUs, we can see the date of purchase, and we know the date today, because obviously that's the shipment date arrival. So we can basically just work out how long it takes for each product to get from the supplier into Amazon, and then we can average it out. So we can say right now, the shipments arrive this week, or today, or this week, average, I don't know, 14 days, for example. I think that's about what we're tracking. It's on a metric somewhere. I don't really need to think about it because it's either green or red. And so we'll do that. Now, this is really good because it covers two bases. One, it will cover the supplier, i.e. if it starts going up, we're like, is it one of our suppliers? And then number two, it also covers the warehouse. So we can see if there's a problem there. So we can delve into those products that took a long time. Now, the other thing that we do is we have two prep centers. Why? Because if we notice one is going slower than the other, we'll just start shipping to the other one. For the simple reason is the fact that what we notice, and we'll tell the other one, by the way, you're shipping really slow right now, as evidenced by this shipment, for example, we can see it. And then say we have stock, but we're shipping it to the other prep center because they're not available. So that prep center knows it's losing out on money because our shipments aren't being taken seriously. So that's a really, really good one. And that's how we measure it. My admin VA reports it every single week. Again, we talk about it, we show you how in the Seller Academy, and we track it, and we just make sure we stay on top of it. So I hope that makes sense. That's what we're doing. I got about 5 minutes, guys. Let me know. Facebook user, watch a replay. Cool. Zard, I'm new to this. Is it possible to drop ship private label products? I'd probably avoid it. I don't think I'm probably the right person to talk about A, drop shipping, or B, private label products. I'd probably, maybe might want to look somewhere else. I'm just going to put it out there. I do arbitrage, reselling products. But yeah, check it out. You might be able to do it, but you've got to be careful. Drop shipping from retail is not allowed, but drop shipping if you own the product, absolutely fine. Evan, it does. I have recently acquired brand direct accounts with low competition, but the competition are established, and I don't want to buy loads of stock and sit there and not sell because I can't win. The buy box. Yeah, I think you're just going to have, like... Okay, so it might be, look, if I was in your shoes, I'm assuming, because you've not written it, when you have the brand direct account, they have a minimum order quantity, which is a big problem, i.e. you have to buy big amounts. And your worry is, if I buy the big amounts and I can't sell it, then I'm in a big problem. So how would I approach this problem? I would actually go and find a wholesaler or distributor of those brand accounts and buy from them in a very small quantity, maybe even retail, and just try and get on the listing with like 5-10 units and see what happens. Why? Because right now you do not have data, you do not have information, and you need to ask the market what is going to happen if I make this decision. So if you go and buy 10 units from a retail, for example, or somewhere else, go sell those products. You can buy it from the manufacturer's own website, because then you're definitely buying legit. And if they ask you for invoices, you can share that. So then you can just ship them in, sell the 10 of them, whatever, probably 10 because if you're gated, then you're going to see if the buy box doesn't work, you have to crash the price. If it does work, then you're going to know. And if you do have to crash the price, you can go, at what price do I need to crash it down to make it work or be below the competition? So once you've realized that, then you're okay. Here we go. And I think you said minimum order quantity is 100. Fine. I just order £100. Fine. I thought you'd be like 10,000. Like if it's going to be 10,000, yeah, I'd be like, I'd probably test it. But like you say, I'm going to sit there with lots of stock. It's going to be £100 worth of stock. Just buy like a couple of lines, shift it in. That'd be it. That's all I'd really do. I think it'd be really simple. Evan, let me know if that answers your question down below. Guys, if you've got questions, drop them down below. I've got a couple of minutes left and that's it. But do like, Evan, just for you, I think the answer is for £100 is not even really like a worry. For us, like there's a couple of suppliers that we have now where they're like MOQs are 10,000. So you're like, okay, fine. So we have to order 10,000 for the products. Obviously, when I did the interview with Dan, 1,000 ASINs, who does the Epic Prep Center, when he talks to wholesalers, or not wholesalers, brands direct, he's talking about 50 to 100,000 full container loads, which is like, whoa. So that's what they're dropping on the first order. And like they'll say, oh, we don't have, we won't let any more Amazon sellers in, sorry. He's like, well, I want to buy a container. They're like, okay, we'll add one more in. So that's like the way he gets in. But if you're doing £100, it's like nothing. I'd just buy it, ship it in. It's like absolutely fine. And I appreciate £100 to me is like nothing, like a rounding error, but like for you, it might be a bit more. But I think generally if you said it's quite low. So I'd say that's fine. Like I really wouldn't worry. Guys, if you've got questions, drop them down below. Obviously I can answer them. I just need some more coffee in my life. Love coffee. By the way, if anyone knows of any events going on in May or June, let me know in the UK. I might be around. Yes, I'll take that, but stock availability is another factor to win both. Agreed, but okay, so let's put it this way. When considering the buy box is there are really 3 core metrics and a whole host of other metrics. So the 3 core metrics, as I understand it, and by the way, we'll never know for sure because the algorithm is always changing and Amazon doesn't release specific information. But what we do understand is that if I had to guess, 95% of the algorithm, 90 to 95% of the algorithm will be based on 3 core metrics, and then 5 to 10% will be based on the other things. For example, review count, history, buy box availability, for example. Of course, they'll have an impact. But like what that 5 to 10% is, it could be up to 25%, I don't know. But what we know is that there are 3 core metrics: prime selling account, your FBA shipping time, and price. They're going to be your key things. Get those right first, then make sure your stock's in, then watch. And then you'll know, am I able to compete or am I not? That's it. Like all these other ones is kind of like you're asking questions which you'll never get the answers to. So if you're hesitant because of all these other things, then you're just wasting your time, wasting your life. So I would just start buying some product and ship it in, see what happens. Test. Welcome to life. May is perfect time at Puerto Rico. You should come. Ha ha ha. I'd love to. I've never been. I've been in Havana, in Cuba. Yeah, I'd love to. I'm thinking about possibly Thailand. So I'm thinking, I need my passport. Literally, I have 1 page left of my passport. So I'm in Miami in March. Then I come back, and then I'll probably go back to the UK for like a few weeks in May, or a week or 2 in May. And then after that, I might go over to Thailand for maybe the rest of the year because I quite enjoyed it over Christmas. I was there. So that is my kind of thoughts. Guys, if you've got any final questions, please drop them down below. But otherwise, I will be ending very soon. But obviously, otherwise, I may go to Puerto Rico. Obviously, practice my Spanish and go from there. Do you have a feedback email template to send customers? How do you mean? Or like requesting? By the way, there is if you go to my YouTube channel and type in seller reviews, there is an email, there is a template you can download from there. So that is a feedback email to get more reviews. And it's a process of how you do it. Like 2 months free with seller board, the email template we use, and how to set it up. You'll see that. It's really helpful. And that is a template there. So I don't know, like you'd have to go to my YouTube channel. It's called How to Get More Seller Reviews, and just type seller reviews in and you'll get it there. So that's pretty much it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let me drink some coffee. Evan says, great. Evan, glad I can help you out. By the way, guys, if you've enjoyed this, do hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, put a comment, just write, hey, Tom, thank you very much. Great to listen or share. I will be here next week again. In a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to be in Miami, so it's not going to be possible. But do obviously let me know. Drop a comment down below, hit a thumbs up. Obviously, if you are interested in the Fast Track FBA Seller Academy, my 7-figure mastermind, we do have $1,000 off this week. And so obviously do check that out. You can book a call with me, fasttrackfba.com/seller, or just go to the website, 7-figure mastermind. And obviously you can join that as well. But I look forward to catching up with you next week. Bring your questions and I will get them answered. Stay safe, people. Bye.